What's up, guys? It's been a while. That's where I've been. That is where I've been. If you're new here, my name's Princess. I recently had my second baby, so life has just been a whirlwind ever since. So today I really wanted to talk about postpartum mental health. Like, let's really talk about it, okay? I have been in probably one of the most challenging seasons of my life, to say the least, and that's why I haven't been filming or recording, because your girl is tired. Your girl is surviving. She's not thriving. Maybe she will again one day, but she's not right now. So I have two kids under 2. My oldest just turned 2, and our youngest, he's turning 1 next month. So we are in the trenches. If you're a parent of young children, you know what's going on. You know the deal. It is not easy. Every day is different. You're really just trying to get through the day, to be honest. And the newborn and infant fog is real. You know, you're going from 1 kid to 2 kids, and then also my oldest son is 2 years old, so it's like I've only been a mom for 2 years compared to like my whole life I've never been a mom, you know. So it's a huge learning curve, and just like when you think you've got it, like the kid is constantly changing. Both of them are constantly changing, so it's really hard. And maybe some moms can relate, maybe some can't, but from my personal experience, and I'm just talking about my personal experiences, some of you guys might not have the same experience at all, maybe the complete opposite. But from my experience, the infant and like newborn stage was like really hard for me. It was like really dark and isolating, and of course I loved being with my baby and being able to bond with my baby and having that special time with them, that they're never going to be this small again. Of course I'm grateful. Of course I'm thankful. And honestly, I shouldn't even have to say that. Like, of course I love my children. Recovering people pleaser over here, okay? So bear with me. But yeah, I shouldn't even have to say that, because that's not exactly what I'm talking about today. Of course I love my children. That's not a question. I would jump in front of a bus for them. I would do anything for them. I would lay my life down for them. But what I'm talking about today is, you know, 2 feelings can exist, right? Of course, like, I'm grateful, and at the same time, like, I'm like struggling with like the learning, right? The adjustment of having kids, period. The isolation, it's just me and the baby, and I'm slowly coming out of that. Today is like one of my better days. So if you know, you know that that's a really interesting time, to say the least. Full of joy and full of lots of challenges as well. Personally, I've dealt with a lot of postpartum anxiety. So I was struggling with anxiety before I had kids. So you can imagine with 2 kids, 2 small kids, that my anxiety has just like gone off the roof. And you know, with a person who struggles with anxiety, you know, we constantly want to like be in control, right? We want to protect ourselves. We want to prepare for the future. We want to protect our environment, ourselves. So you're constantly thinking about the future and wanting to control it, right? Worried about the future, whatever the case may be. So I struggled a lot with that with my first son, and then when I had my second son, it just like skyrocketed. And that was probably like the hardest for me mentally, because you just feel so like crushed by the fear. And when you're with a baby, a new baby at home by yourself, like being inside the house is like suffocating already, you know. And then it's just you and the baby. And I think I wish I went outside more with the baby, and I started to a little bit more once the baby got older. But with my first son, I didn't at all. I think because he came from like the NICU, and like I was struggling with that, and so that's a whole other thing too. Like if you've had a NICU baby, you know that that's a whole other like topic as well, in addition to, you know, all encompassing mental health, postpartum mental health. But as far as like my postpartum anxiety goes, I feel like I started to go outside a lot more with the baby, taking him on walks to the park. Even if it was just like a walk to the mailbox, I was just like, man, we got to get out of the house. We got to get out of this house, because it's so easy to just like stay in your bubble where it's safe. And that's where my postpartum anxiety came in, was that like, oh my gosh, what if the baby starts screaming in the middle of the grocery store and everyone's staring at me and wondering what I'm gonna do next, or like if the kids have meltdowns at the store, or whatever the case may be. And that's like my own personal insecurity that I'm still healing from and recovering from, and I can totally admit that. So when you bring kids into the picture, it just like magnifies and heightens the situation of like where I'm at really internally. And it's actually kind of relieving to see other moms also struggling. Like for instance, like going to Target and seeing these other kids have meltdowns. It's like, man, I feel you. Like I feel you. And it's so nice to know that I'm not alone. And most of the time people are like very, I guess, nice about it. They're like, yeah, like it's a baby. They're having meltdown, or a toddler, or whatever the case may be. People are, you know, nice about it. They're not like, oh my God, look at her and her loud baby causing a ruckus. Like no one's ever doing that. I think there's a lot more people that are more compassionate. I mean, if you ever come across a person that is like that, you know, but I have never come across that. It's definitely an internal battle that I face with. And you know, I wish I was more like, who cares, like I'm dealing with a lot, I don't care what other people think. You know, I wish I was more like that. I desire to be more like that, and I'm still working on that. And I think I'm slowly getting there, especially like the older the kids get and the more I get adjusted to like being a mom and everything like that. It's just like, it is what it is, you know, like if you don't like it, then I don't really care, you know, like I'm doing the best that I can. And then there's like so much pressure around women, like to bounce back from having the baby, like the bounce back culture, like getting snatched back to your pre-baby body. And it's like, honestly, it's so irritating. It's like, wow, like as if we're not already dealing with like this huge change of like being solely responsible for like this little human. It's like now you're like the world wants you to like look like a supermodel after you had a baby. It's like, no, y'all need to stop. There needs to be a lot more grace for women, and I feel like that's just like a whole other layer, honestly. Yeah, it is hard to accept your new body, accepting what your body looks like now and knowing what it used to look like. Yeah, that's extremely hard. There's like, you know, I personally went through like moments of grief. I mean, even still now, of like, man, like, yeah, I do miss like how my old body used to look. And yes, I am thankful for like what my body has done. It's given me two of the greatest gifts of my life, and I wouldn't change that. While at the same time, like, yeah, it is like hard sometimes to look at all your stretch marks and like the sagging skin and all that stuff. Yeah, it's really, really hard. So don't judge me. I'm still healing. I'm still going through it, and I'm sure many other moms are as well. And when I'm ready to jump back in and focus more on my physical health, then I will. And that's on my terms and when I'm ready, and not what the world expects of me, and, you know, trying to compare yourself to women and all that stuff. Or if I ever want to, you know, it's like, it's not saying that I have to do this. It's just when I want to do what I want to do, because it's my body. As far as like parenting, that's like a whole other level. Right now we live like a little over an hour and a half away from our family and friends. And so my husband commutes to work, and his commute is like 2 hours on the road going to work and coming back home, and that's been really hard. So that leaves me solo parenting Monday through Friday. Man, so much respect to like single moms. I'm not a single mom, but like Monday through Friday, it definitely feels like that. You know, my husband leaves around like 5 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes he doesn't get home till like 6 or 7 o'clock. And so it's all me throughout the day. And we're thankful that we have daycare. That's been our saving grace. And right now I'm on baby bonding leave. And so just until the baby turns 1, which is next month, and I'm going back to work. But before baby bonding leave, you know, I still work full time. So like, you know, getting the kids ready, get dropped off at daycare, working the whole day, picking them up, doing, you know, the whole evening routine. It's like, yeah, man, I'm freaking swamped at the end of the day. And, you know, my husband does his best to like get home as soon as he can, but you know, sometimes he can't control traffic or how his work day is going and stuff like that. But he really is helpful, like when he can be in the evenings when he does come home early, and of course especially on the weekends. So the burnout is real. The burnout is so real. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, your girl is surviving. Maybe she'll thrive again one day, but right now she is still surviving. It's really, really hard when you don't have family and friends nearby. It's like I desire to be more present with the kids, but it's just like, man, I'm just like trying to get through the day. Like I'm exhausted. And then there's like the mom guilt, and it's just like, gosh, motherhood is so like complex. There's so many like layers to it. And we could literally be sitting here all day talking about it. If you're a mom, you know. And you know, your kids are so different. Like our oldest, he's like textbook baby, you know. Our second, not so much. So like, and they're so different. Like, you know, yes, we sleep trained the first one and we tried to sleep train the second one, but like the second one's not feeling it. So yeah, I think definitely can't. And yeah, you can't treat the same baby. You can't treat your kids the same way because they're so different. And like the doctor was saying about our oldest, like, yeah, he needs to be like eating more vegetables. It's like, have you met a toddler? Like, he's so picky. He eats like 3 things. Like he eats like chicken nuggets, pizza, and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Please let me know that I am not the only one, because yeah, like of course we tried to give him vegetables and things like that, but he doesn't eat it. He likes what he likes. And you know, a win is a win. The boy is eating, so don't come for me for that, because it is what it is. Toddler parents, you know what I'm talking about. There's definitely a lot of like hope. You know, I've talked to parents who have survived, you know, the 2 and under phase, and I know it does get better. And in some ways it already has. You know, both of them are sleeping through the night, so that's great. And I know it'll just keep getting better and better, especially when they start talking and they can actually communicate about how they're feeling, and like less meltdowns. Because it's like, I'm just trying to figure out like why you're screaming on the floor, and it's like you can't talk, so I don't know what to do, you know. So in general, I know it'll get better. So there's a lot of hope. And in regards to like my mental health, like I definitely need to take care of myself, so I can be better for my husband and my kids, because as wives and moms, we're definitely the thermostat of the home. We definitely control the temperature of the home. And I see it, you know, when I'm feeling like crap and dragging, like everyone's feeling like crap. And when I'm in a good mood, like everyone's in a good mood. And I don't know, that just seems to be how it works in our household. I don't know if it is for yours, but I also want to feel better. So like not just for like my family, but like for myself, like for me. Like for instance, I have help today with both the kids, so I'm at home by myself like for the first time in like I don't even remember. So I was like, you know what, I'm choosing me today. It's like I put my makeup on, I did my hair, like, you know, I just chose me today, and it feels good. Like it feels good to do things that make me feel good. And while I was like getting ready today, I was like, man, like, who is like the woman that I used to be? Like, who is she? It's like, I don't even know her anymore. Like, she doesn't even like exist. Like, she is like far gone. Like, the woman I was before getting married and having kids, like, she is long gone. I can't even see her anymore, and I'm not mad at it, honestly. Today I am the woman who I'm supposed to be. I am like the strongest that I've ever been in my whole life, and no day is perfect. Every day is different, but I definitely feel the strongest I've ever been, emotionally and mentally. And not every day is perfect. I have my moments, like we all do, but man, it's been rough, and I'm still here. Still here, alive to talk about it. So there is definitely a lot of hope, and really wanted to make this video to let you moms out there know that you're not alone. And I think we should definitely talk about this a lot more. Like, let's have a conversation about it. Let me know in the comments below if you've had similar feelings, or are going through what I'm going through right now in the trenches with little kids and little support. Motherhood is such a huge community, and it's like a sisterhood. Motherhood is like a sisterhood, but most days it's very lonely. You know, if you're a mom, you know what I'm talking about. Like, you know that there are other women out there that understand, but on a day-to-day basis, like, you're hustling on your own, and I get it because I'm right there with you. So moments like that are hard, but I just want to let you, mom, know that I'm thinking the same thing. It's hard out here in these streets, and we don't have a lot of support, and I'm grateful for the support that we do have and continue to have. Shout out to our daycare provider, because without her, we would not be surviving this at all. So I'm super grateful for her, and my husband, who always encourages me to take care of myself, even when even when he's not even like taking care of himself sometimes. Like, love you, babe, love you so much, thank you for your sacrifices. So, and shout out to the dads out there too, man. The dads out there are struggling too, and it's a silent battle for some dads as well. So shout out to the dads out there too. You guys are doing great. You know, it's really like, if you have a partner, like, it's definitely like a teamwork thing, like divide and conquer. So yeah, but just wanted to let you guys all know that I'm alive and I am surviving motherhood, and it's beautiful, and I wouldn't change it for the world. And it's complex, but it's so worth it. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.